Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee, and this is Randy, and we're here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue. And every week we bring you adoptable pets that are available at your animal shelter, beginning with this little guy who is all dressed up for Christmas. And his name is Shadow, and his story, we know a lot about him. He was offered as a giveaway on Craigslist. The person who had him couldn't care for him anymore, so she was looking for a home for him. And a couple adopted him and said that he was lovely with their boxer and with their young child. But they took him to the vet right away, which is a great thing to do, as you should when you get a new pet. And the vet told them that he would need to have dental work and he would need to be completely groomed. And they didn't feel prepared for the expense of that right off the bat. So they brought him to us, and he is such a sweet little dog. So we cut his hair short, which, just so you know, he's all poodle, so that's all going to grow back. And he will be able to be groomed in any fancy shape that you and your groomer decide you like. We just did the simple puppy cut since he's in the kennel, so he can stay clean and fluffy, and also to get rid of some tangled hair that he had. And we are arranging for him to have his teeth cleaned through a group called Uniting to Save Animals that helps us frequently with such things, so that our tax dollars can go to all of the individual animals' basic care, and for special cases like this, U2SA helps us out so that he can get his teeth all fixed out. Some of them are going to have to be taken out because they were neglected, and that's not too uncommon for a poodle of his age, which is between 7 and 9 years old. That's our guess. And since poodles live 14 or 15 years, he has a lot of time left to give. And as you can see, he's super cute, and he's going to make somebody really happy. So if you know someone who is interested in a lovely fawn poodle with a great personality, please have them call us. We are back with Boo Boo, and Boo Boo is the complete opposite of Shadow. He does not have any maturity, and he does not have the mellow personality, but he's a perfectly normal puppy. He's not too hyper, he's gentle with people, and he is a mixed breed dog. We did have someone very interested in Boo Boo, but they couldn't get him because their landlord said he looks too much of a mixed breed that could be part pit bull, and that's quite possible. What might help Boo Boo is a DNA test, because it's possible he's not any kind of bully breed, but it also could be in there. One of the things that landlords are always worried about is the special appeals court decision that landlords can be responsible for their naughty tenant dogs. So they're very reluctant to get big dogs that people are scared of. So we think Boo Boo is part German Shepherd, but we're not sure because we don't do DNA testing here. Your vet can do that for you if you choose to. But it's something to think about. How big is this puppy going to get? We just had a puppy come back to the shelter after a year, and when she was a baby, we put her down as a pit bull mix. And when she came back as a year-old dog, she didn't look like anything like a bully breed. So it's very hard to tell when they're young what they will be, and all puppies have a big head and floppy joints. But we do have to say he could be part pit bull just to protect him from getting into a place where landlords say no. So Boo Boo was a stray. So this isn't the puppy's real name. It's a name that we gave the puppy when he came here, so we didn't have to call him by his number. So also, if you know someone who lost a similar looking dog, think about how fast puppies grow, because they could have lost this puppy weeks ago when he looked quite different and not recognize him now. But in any case, Boo Boo's been with us long enough that we did not find his owner and are looking for a new home for him. And what we do for puppies is we accept 4 applications and then we pick the best match, because he's going to need a family that's going to include him in things. He likes people very much, and he's going to need lots of exercise. I'm sorry you're just looking at the back of him, but he wants the food. And the reason that that's good is when a puppy is motivated by something that you have, they're very easy to train, because they're willing to work. Randy's got skills at making his arm grow longer so that he can face the puppy to the camera. But you can see how cute he is. He has very floppy ears. He might be some part beagle. We really don't know, and we try to make the best guess we can. Some research that was done by the National Canine Research Council says that 75% of the guesses that we make at all shelters are just wrong. So we do the best we can at letting you know what we think he will grow into. But basically, he's got a retriever-y coat, and he's going to be a bigger dog. So he'll be, you know, just what everyone thinks about when they think about the happy-go-lucky family dog that you get young, so that he's used to everything that you do. So if you are ready for the challenge of a puppy, then let us know, and we will help you find the right one, especially if it's Boo Boo.
Good set.
You are good.
Yeah. Hey, settle down.
This is Caleb, and Caleb is a Maltese Yorkie who was brought to the animal shelter because his family said they couldn't train him. So I haven't spent very much time with him, but yesterday I went back to his cage and threw him a couple treats and got him to come to and climb in my lap pretty easily. And I'm sure that's not what they meant when they said they couldn't train him. A lot of dogs will climb in your lap with no training whatsoever. So Randy is trying to encourage him to assume a body position of sitting that he can reward him for. And if he's never done it before, I mean, it takes a couple tries. But one of the things they said they couldn't do was house train him. So I am going to give you the crash course in house training. I have not met very many dogs, although I have met a few, that cannot be house trained in 3 days. Obviously, baby dogs can't. But in 3 days of keeping them with you like Randy is right now on a leash, and when you can't, putting them in a small cage, it's very important to put them in the crate 10 times a day for no reason, because it doesn't take dogs very long to figure out that you put them in the crate when you're leaving, and then they don't like that whole experience of being in a cage. But if instead they go in the pen 10 times a day for no reason, then they just see it as part of the routine, just like babies in cribs. So the first thing is to get him accustomed to the crate so that when you can't watch him, he can be in there. And then when you can watch him, if he's on a leash, then if he squats to urinate and you scoop him up and take him outside, you know he still has to go. And when he goes outside, you reward him with something he wants. This is the mistake that people most often make. They reward the dog with coming in when the dog prefers to play in the yard, or they reward the dog with taking him for a walk when the dog prefers to come inside, if it's cold or rainy or whatever. So you need to make sure that the result of him doing what you want, urinating outside, is something that he wants, whatever that is, inside, outside, playing, whatever it is, you give that to him for him doing what you like. Then that's stage one. So stage one is that he knows you want him to go to the bathroom outside. Now stage two is that you're keeping him with you, attached to you, supervised, so that every time he attempts to urinate inside or defecate, you reprimand him. You say, ah, and take him outside. Now you have a dog who knows you do want him to go, but it has to be outside, and he's not allowed to go inside, and then you will see on the third day your dog start to tell you when he's uncomfortable inside because he feels the urge to go. So he paces or whines or looks at you or whatever he does that lets you say, do you want to go outside? Now obviously he doesn't know what that means, but with a couple of pairings it becomes very clear to him and you, and then you have a house-trained dog. Now there can be dogs with medical problems. We've had the vet check him out and we don't see any sign of that. That are harder to house train. And there can be dogs that have gone through a training that failed. That means they might need a little extra help to understand that it is okay to go. It's just the location that matters. So I don't think he's going to have any problem solving that riddle. And sometimes people do get frustrated with training dogs because they want their dog to understand their wishes, but they're not sure how to communicate that. So I should also say that Caleb's only a 1.5 years old, so he's still a puppy, and that means that he is open-minded and ready to accept whatever opportunities come his way. And he's really, really cute. So we have asked that he go to an experienced home without small children. And the reason we've asked that is because the previous owner telling us that they had trouble training him, not based on what we've seen, because he seems perfectly normal and lovely, but we don't want to set him up for failure. If we're told that he was a challenge to train, then we're going to go with that and find him an owner who's had dogs before and has house trained a puppy before and feels confident that this cute little guy is going to make a great addition to their family. If you think that Caleb is right for you, then let us know, or feel free to find his picture on Pet Finder and share it with your experienced dog friends. We are back with Sandy, and I just wanted to remind everybody that we primarily have cats and we usually have dogs. But we also have guinea pigs, hamsters, rabbits, sometimes exotic pets like hedgehogs or sugar gliders. They usually go to people on the wish list because we don't get very many. Sometimes we have snakes, often we have birds, and we do work with rescues like Small Angels that takes guinea pigs. They've taken many guinea pigs from us this year, including a pregnant one. And we work with Phoenix Landing. It's a bird rescue. So we do the best we can to get the small animals out of the shelter since we're not really specifically suited to care for them. It's pretty easy because we can get them individual cages and keep them in a room that's climatized. But we are set up for dogs and cats, so that's primarily what we prefer to house, but we just don't turn away unwanted animals. So this little guinea pig, Sandy, was given up because someone in their family developed allergies to her. And sometimes the allergies can be actually to the guinea pig dander, sometimes it's to the hay that they eat, sometimes it's to the bedding that is being used. But in any case, it is very hard to take care of a pet if you feel like you have a cold all the time. So Sandy is here looking for a new home. And one of the things that people like about guinea pigs are the noises that they make. Some people call them whistle pigs. And they're pretty happy-go-lucky little animals and not that hard to care for. It's nice if you can take them out of their pen every day and let them run around for some exercise. Guinea pigs do like the company of other guinea pigs if they're properly introduced. And they make a good first pet for a young person. One thing that I would caution parents, though, is that never get a pet expecting your child to assume full responsibility, and that's for 2 reasons. Number 1, they're going to forget. And number 2, it's very hard to say to a child, you know, here, we're getting you this pet, but if you don't take care of the pet, we're going to give them away, because we want pets to be incorporated into the family as a family member, as much as a non-human can be. So the fear is that the message is we're going to cut loose a family member if it becomes a burden, and not a good message for your kids. So if you want a pet, great, share that with your kids. If you don't want a pet, then let your kids wait until they're grown-ups to get the pet that they want. Guinea pigs are very clean, as you can see. Sandy is washing her face and washing her feet. And so she is, has pretty long curly hair, so she's extra cute. If you know someone who is interested in small mammals as pets, have them give us a call or check out Small Angels on the internet for information about how to care for them all and choose the one that's right for you. This is Racer. And Racer is a black Persian cat with gorgeous orange eyes. And we had to shave his fur off of his body because it was very tangled. One of the things about us breeding Persian cats is that people have selected the cats for a very flat face and very plush fur. So what that means is that we have to take care of their face and their fur because it's not as nature would have created it. It needs some human assistance to stay beautiful. So he does need to have his hair brushed on a regular basis. He can't take care of that plush coat by himself. Over, I think, a few hundred years, if not more, Persian cats have been selected for longer and longer and thicker fur. So it does require a lot of maintenance. And then the flat face is a more recent anomaly. They've always had a very round face with a short nose, but in more recent history, the kittens are selected for the more and more squashed face that you can possibly get because people think it's cute. Well, what that means is that sometimes he has teary eyes, so he needs help taking care of that as well. He is absolutely beautiful and very sweet, given that since he arrived here, he's been shaved and his diet's changed and his whole world and people have changed. So if you have always wanted a Persian cat, now is your chance to get one from the shelter. He also happens to be beautiful. Black with orange eyes is quite lovely. And if you are looking for a Persian cat and know how to care for his coat, then I think you're going to be pretty happy with this guy. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to take you to our kitty cabana and have some adventure with our loose cats. So I hope you join us for that. And if you've seen any animals on this first segment of our show, don't forget to go to petfinder.com, share their pictures around. That really helps us out.
Before, addiction and depression kept me from living my life. And now, every step I take in recovery benefits everyone. There are many options that make the road to recovery more accessible. It begins with the first step. Join the Voices for Recovery. For information and treatment referral for you or someone you love, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Welcome to our kitty cabana. We have a room in the shelter that is for cats that have been here some time, and we know that they have the right temperament for it, so that they can have a little bit of colony living. And it's a little house-like with furniture and litter pans, several bowls, and this is Winnie. Winnie is a female cat that came to it. Yeah, Winnie, in the colony room, you get to see the full personality of cats with other cats. And Winnie does very well in here, sticking up for herself and not letting anyone push her around. She wants to be with Randy and she doesn't want to share. So Winnie is about 4 years old, and she came to us from some people who said that she didn't use the litter box reliably for them, and they only had her for a very short time. So we put her in the colony room to make sure that that's not the case, as long as the litter boxes are clean and plentiful. So this is Charlie, the brown tabby behind her. And one of the parts of the colony room is that you do have to see the interactions between cats. And this is actually interesting for you. If you are interested in getting a second cat, then this posture. Winnie is trying to say that she would like to move away. Charlie is saying that if and when you move away, I am going to swat or bite you in the butt. So that's the reason that Winnie doesn't want to go. So Randy is being somewhat helpful by giving Charlie a possible distraction. What you could do if this was occurring in your own home is you could take a blanket and drop it over Charlie, and that would change his mind. about what he's doing. Obstacles work too. And we do have some towels here. I'm going to help a little bit by making myself part of the situation so that Charlie can find something else to do. But Winnie is good at defending herself. As you can see, she's gone into her little cave, and now Charlie's being a bully because she's not able to escape from the hole without passing by Charlie, and he's making sure that she knows that he's not going to let her out. So if you do adopt a second cat, these are some of the things that you're going to see in your house and that you should be prepared for helping them to work out. Charlie is... part of it is that we're in the room and that we're something that they can fight over. But Charlie is a 6 to 8 year old brown tabby, neutered male, who was found in Thurmont. He was hanging out on a property for about 6 months, and the people brought him into us when they realized that he didn't have a home to go to for the winter. So Charlie is also here looking for another home. Now, even though you might say that, wow, Charlie's a bully, so I wouldn't adopt him, he only has this relationship with Winnie. With the other cats in the kitty cabana, who you're going to meet in just a moment, Charlie has great relationships. So it's one of the challenges of not only putting cats in the kitty cabana, because we do help them work it out, but of adopting a second cat if you have a resident cat. It's kind of like arranged marriage. You know, you're asking a cat or two cats that don't know each other to form some permanent relationship without any screening process at all. So you probably can't hear it because our microphones aren't so sensitive, but Winnie is still huddled in her little cave to avoid Charlie, and she was growling. So now that Charlie's gone, she is quiet, and Randy has effectively distracted Charlie so he can redirect some of his frustration on the toy, which is a perfect thing to do because he's all charged up now because he chased Winnie and she growled at him and he had her cornered. He needs to run around and dissipate some of that energy. A lot of times people think that cats are going to act very much like dogs. Dogs usually set up a pecking order, settle their differences once and for all, and go through some ritualized behavior that says who's in charge. And they do that with us too, which makes it very easy to boss dogs around. Cats do not have a set pecking order. Each time they meet, they have to settle whether someone's going to get their way or not get their way, and cats can hold a grudge. So it's harder for them to work out their differences when they have challenged each other. They sort of remember that, kind of like office politics. So they need a little bit of help to get along with each other. So we also have some other cats in the kitty cabana. This is how we introduce cats, new cats, to the kitty cabana. This is Jazz. Jazz is a brown tabby and white 2-year-old, or in between 1 and 2 years old, domestic medium hair female, and she was found in Sibyllesville. One of the interesting things about the cats in the kitty cabana is that they've been here a good amount of time. We get to know them really well and decide if they are going to make it in here. It gives them more room and there's a window and stuff to do. But Winnie, who you met first, has been here since August 8th, and Charlie has been here since August 22nd, and Jazz has been here since August 9th. So it really is time for these guys to get homes of their own. Jazz is getting ready to be introduced to the kitty cabana, so what we do is we put them in the condo until they are comfortable using their litter box and eating and interested in the other cats. And then during the day, we will open the condo for a couple of hours and let them interact. The cats that are in the cabana go into the condo kitty comes out into the room. And then at night, we lock them separate again to make sure that there's no fights when we're not here. And then if all goes well, then we just open the condo and they matriculate and fit together and do a great job of taking advantage of the extra space. And off camera, Charlie is still having a great time with the little spider toy, so that is going to help him feel better towards Winnie. And we also have in our kitty cabana Couscous, and Couscous is a 2-year-old female gray and white cat who's been here since April the 30th. And she also came to us from an owner with complaints that she did not use the litter box. So we placed her in the kitty cabana to show if that's true, and she is fine with as long as there's plentiful litter boxes and they're clean, she's fine. She also was that way in her cage, and she lived in her cage for quite a while before moving into the kitty cabana. One of the things that is a very good test is that cats in multiple cat households, which our kitty cabana is, are the most likely to have litter box problems, because a cat like Winnie, if she were prevented from using the litter box by a cat like Charlie, she might have litter box problems. Now, Winnie has never been known to and doesn't here either. But Couscous is a bigger cat. You can't really see in there because she's making it difficult to see her. But she is a big girl and is just, you know, lounging and comfortable in her little shelf. Kelly has been here since April 6th. She was found in Myersville, and she is a female, obviously. And I will tell you that I am so shocked that she's still here for two reasons. Number one, she's very friendly and she's been in the kitty cabana for a long time and she's very interactive. But number two, she is a very rare color of cat. Tricolored cats are very uncommon. And, well, I should say that tricolored cats that are tortoiseshell and white or calico are not uncommon, but they're always females. But they are always black and orange or cream and tan. Kelly is oddly black and tan with white, very uncommon. So I was very surprised when she came in that she wasn't snapped up right away by, you know, cat fanciers who know that that's a rare coloring and would find her personality wonderful and would want to have a cat of an unusual color. She is watching Winnie right now very carefully, and hopefully she'll come down and let you see her walk around. But Kelly is actually one of my favorite cats that's here because of her personality. She's very approachable. We've taken her on the radio show, and she has been on this TV show before she moved into the kitty cabana. So if you are interested in Kelly, then please let us know. If you're interested in any of the cats in the kitty cabana, then please come in. You can sit on the bench in here and see who approaches you and see if any of them make a good match for you. If you know of someone who likes exotic colored cats, then let them know about Kelly by sharing her Pet Finder picture. We are, as usual, at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue, and we have all of the animals you've seen today, plus, unfortunately for us, but good for those who are looking for pets, we get an average of 15 new animals a day. So you never know what you're going to find at the animal shelter. And we encourage you to come in often and see who's here. Thanks for joining us on Pet Pals. We hope you'll join us next time when we bring you adoptable animals from Frederick County Animal Control. If you are interested in sharing this episode of Pet Pals, there's a link at the bottom of your screen to do so. And you can also help us out by liking us on our Facebook page and by sending pictures of adoptable pets from petfinder.com out on your social networking site. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you next time.